So here's a second example. This one is in base 2. So remember that we're going to carry when we find groups of 2. So if we start in the ones place, 1 plus 1 is a group of 2 to carry with 0 leftovers. In the next spot, now we have 1 plus 1, which is again a group of 2 to carry with no leftovers. 1 plus 1 again, group of 2 with no leftovers. 1 plus 1 again is a group of 2 with no leftovers. This is getting kind of boring. Now, 1 plus 1 plus 1, there's something interesting. Now we've got a group of 2 to carry plus a leftover. So altogether, that's 3 things. And then our last place value, 1 plus 1, is a group of 2, which would go into the next space and no leftovers. Okay, since that's our last space, we can just bring it down. So there's our answer in base 2. Now we want to remind ourselves again, what are these place values? So remember, we start with 1s and then 2s. 2 groups of 2 is 4. 2 groups of 4 is 8. 2 groups of 8 is 16. 2 16s is 32. 2 32s is 64. We have a cat behind us, that's why we're giggling. Okay, so now let's again check it by translating over to base 10 and figuring out what are we looking at here. All right, so our answer, since I'm doing these first because they're near the place value, so they're easy to calculate. So we've got one group of 64 and one group of 16, and that's it. So 64 plus 16 is 70, 80. Okay, so this whole long number, all it represents is 80 in base 10. Now, we began with the top number, which would be one group of 32 and one group of 16 and one group of 2 and one group of 1. So 32 and 16 would be 48, plus 2 more would be 50, plus 1 more would be 51. So that was 51 things in base 2 over here. Then the middle number here would be one group of 16, one group of 8, one group of 4, and a 1. So we've got, I'm going to put the 16 and the 4 together because that's easy for me to do in my head. So that's 20 for these 2 spots. Then plus 8 is 28, 29. Now we check this problem and see, does it make sense? Is 51 plus 29 really equal to 80? And it is, so there's our check and we're good.